Oh, yeah. Oh shit, did you see him just open his mouth? That was awesome. Oh my God, look at the spider webs in here with the dew on them. Do you see it? That's beautiful. And this little algae bloom in here, oh God, I'm gonna get a big one. Oh, Bart, no, I'm talking about the one up ahead of us. Do you see that one? With the dew. Oh, got him. Got him. Oh, good morning. Look at that. Boys and girls, we've got the start of the video. When springtime starts, everything goes shallow. There's spawning, there's protecting beds, bass, bluegill, shad, everything goes shallow and it becomes pure chaos, and it can be a lot of fun to target bass that time of the year. One of the best ways to do it is throwing topwater. But when you're throwing topwater, let that bad boy go. When you're throwing topwater, you don't know if you want to throw a little walking frog that you can fire up in those corners and work it out of there and trigger those strikes, or some kind of buzzbait. You can make those long casts and really trigger those aggressive strikes from those fish coming out of the cover. But you no longer have to choose now, because Lunkerhunt came up with the prop frog. Look at that, look at those little feet. You got the props and you got the advantages of just having a hollow belly frog. So let's break down this technique, starting with rigging. Okay, so first let's talk about some features of this Lunkerhunt prop frog. You have the traditional body shape of a hollow belly frog. You've got those nice little hooks that fit right alongside that body, so you got a weedless design. But then what's unique that Lunkerhunt has done is you've got these prop little legs instead of the rubber legs that you normally have, and then included in that little stinger hook. So that thing deflects off of cover and stuff, but when those fish short strike, you're still gonna get those hookups. Great little bait that you can stop, pause, work over thick cover, but then also with those little prop sounds, you're gonna be able to trigger those aggressive strikes. Those fish are gonna come out from cover and pound this thing. Then I've got 30 to 60 pound braid here. I love throwing the braid. You know, you've gotta have a strong enough line that you throw into that cover and you get walloped. You gotta be able to yank that fish out of there. And part of yanking that fish out of there is having the right rod. I've got a 7'4" medium heavy fast action. So I got enough tip to really work this bait around, but then I got that backbone to really yank and control that fish out of the cover. I've got a Cast King Speed Demon. It's a high speed 9.3 to 1 gear ratio. So as I make that cast, I work that bait a little bit. Once I'm out of the strike zone, I can reel it back in real quick and make another cast and really have full control over this bait. Oh, that was a big fish, dude. This bait is real easy to work. You just cast it out, rod tip up when you come over stuff, and then once you're in the open water, you just let those legs work just like a little buzzbait. It'll make that little gurgle, gurgle, gurgle noise, a nice slow, even retrieve. And once you get the hang of it, you can start messing around with it. You can speed it up a little bit to get a little bit more violent gurgle. But really, you're gonna, you know, like in the situation right here, there's tons of different vegetation, but there's little pockets and stuff. So I'm gonna slowly work this over the pockets, and then actually over the vegetation, I'm gonna crawl and hop and try to make those vibrations. Because when you're vibrating on top of that vegetation, those fish can hone into you a little bit better. And then once I hit that open water again, I'll just have that slow cadence that is that's a characteristic of like buzzbaits, and that can really draw those aggressive strikes, especially if a fish is following it underneath that vegetation that comes away, making that noise, you're really gonna get a nice little bite. The other thing is when I make that cast, a lot of times once it lands, I'll let it sit for a few seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, and fish will hone into that. When they hear something land, they'll come check it out. Bass are curious by nature. And so I give it a couple seconds for them to come take a look at it, and then when I start that movement, a lot of times that's when the strike will happen. That bass will come up to it, take a little look at it, and be inspecting, and then all of a sudden it'll start running away, and that bass goes, no, 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 you're not going anywhere. All right, the thing about where to use this is anywhere shallow. We talked about springtime, everything's happening up shallow. They're up making beds. All kinds of species are up making beds throughout the spring. Then they're protecting them, they're feeding up there. There's so much going on that having a versatile shallow water, topwater bait is very great, is very beneficial, because you can come over a lot of that vegetation, you can move it slow, you can move it fast. So right here, I've got a lot of different targets I can fish. I can fish just open water, and there's little tiny clumps here of vegetation out in the open, and this is a perfect bait to throw out in the open because there's a lot of vegetation I can't see. So I'm able to work this fairly quickly over this open water and see if there's any fish that want to bite. But then as I come closer into these little pockets, I can throw this bait because it's virtually weedless. I can throw it right in that grass, bring it right to the edge right there, and work it just like a traditional frog. Once I'm out in the open, I can work it like a buzzbait now. And so the location, basically, I'm gonna try to throw this in anywhere from, you know, half of a foot. If there's water, I'm gonna throw it right up in there to about 4 or 5 feet of water, depending on if there's some vegetation and stuff out there. So any shallow areas these fish are in, this bait is perfect because you can cover so much water, really figure out where those fish are, and generate some aggressive strikes, and big fish hit topwater. Do not forget. When you're fishing for those shallow water, healthy bass this time of the year, guys, having something like the Lunkerhunt prop frog is perfect because you can fish all the conditions you're gonna run into, right? You can throw this in open water, draw fish from a long ways away, but also you can get right in the thick stuff where they're hanging out, right? You can throw that right into little pockets, work it like a frog, pause it if the fish aren't reacting right away. So you have that versatility. You're really gonna be able to figure out what the fish are doing and find where those fish are. Guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you can get all the Lucky Tackle Box videos that we are throwing out there. I'm Travis Moran. My boy Sam is behind me here. Sam, you photobombing? Oh, he's camera shy. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on the next one.